Hi, so this is Sinmi. I'm back today to talk to you about the things you need to know before you apply to nursing school. And one of the most important things you need to know before you apply to nursing school is about nursing prerequisites. Every school has prerequisites before you can go in, and today I'm just going to be talking about what you need to know, what classes you need to take, and what other things do you need to know apart from what classes you need to take. So just stick around and I'll be talking more in depth about those things that I learned in my first month while trying to figure out nursing school. Hi. So, of course, I said I was going to be talking about nursing prerequisites today. Just to give you a little bit of an idea of why I'm doing this. When I started thinking about doing a YouTube channel, I thought to myself, what are the things that I wanted to know when I first started thinking about going to nursing school. So you would notice that in my previous video I gave you a brief overview of the things that I had to learn before going to nursing school, and one of the most important things that I had to learn about nursing school was nursing prerequisites and how that whole system works. I live in Massachusetts. I go to school in Massachusetts, so of course a lot of what I've learned is about going to school in Massachusetts, but I will give you a little bit of a secret. When I actually started thinking about going to nursing school, I had originally considered going to nursing school in Texas because I'm the kind of person that likes traveling, and I pretty much like moved around a lot. So I was thinking to myself, well, I want to go to nursing school and it's a good way to start up, a new phase of my life. I'm going to go to Texas. And then I thought about it for a while and I was like, nah, I'm just going to stay in the Boston area. But the whole point of saying this is I also had to look at prerequisites in Texas, and so based on that experience of looking not just in Massachusetts but looking in Texas as well, and then also talking to other people who have been to nursing school, there are a few things that are pretty much common across board that anybody that is seriously looking at going into nursing school needs to be aware of. The first thing you need to know are what classes do you absolutely need to take before going to nursing school. And generally across board, you're going to need to take anatomy and physiology, or as the nursing students like to say, A and P. Oh, I'm taking A and P this semester. Are you taking one or two? You're going to hear that word a lot. A and P, A and P. And it's like the bane of everybody's existence. It's like the two most critical classes you need to think about when you're applying to nursing school: anatomy and physiology. Anatomy and physiology, as the name implies, basically tells you about the human body, all the systems in the human body. I found it to be a very fun class to take. I'm not going to say it wasn't difficult, but it was definitely enlightening because you do get to go down to the nitty-gritty of the human body, and you do it real quickly and you have to like really get up to date. But before we start talking about the content of the class, just know you have to take anatomy and physiology. Now here is a few things that I've learned about anatomy and physiology in the last couple of years since this whole nursing school started for me. There are many different ways you can take it. So all schools will pretty much ask you for A and P, but a lot of schools want you to take A and P not just in the classroom level but in the lab level. So what that means is that when you take A and P, generally, like at the school I took my A and P at, which was the community college, most classes are 3 units, but A and P was 4 units because I had 3 hours of classroom hour and 1 hour of lab, so that made it 4 credits. And that's basically how a lot of schools want you to take anatomy and physiology. Every once in a while you will find the school that tells you, oh, it's okay, you don't need to take the lab component, merely require you to take the classroom component. I personally did not find a lot of schools that offer just the classroom component. I know there are lots of ads online when you type in nursing prerequisites on Google that tell you, oh, you can take anatomy and physiology online. Maybe they only offer the classroom version. I actually I don't know much about that, but what I do know is that there are some programs that also allow you to take A&P online, and the lab component is actually online as well. Again, I really don't know about that. I know about the existence of it because, of course, when I started thinking about going to nursing school, I was trying to think about the most convenient way for me to take it. So I tried to learn a lot about online programs, but I didn't take my anatomy and physiology online. I have taken a bunch of classes online, and I'm going to talk to you later on about that, about how that has helped me. But anatomy and physiology, personally, I took it in the classroom and I took it in the lab, like a physical lab, not an online lab. Now, the other thing that you have to learn when you're learning about nursing prerequisite is time limit. Now, personally, when I was, a teenager back in like 2004, 2005, I did take anatomy and physiology. Yes, I took anatomy and physiology as part of the coursework I did before getting my bachelor's. But I know I don't look that old, but I am a bit old. That was 10 years ago. So I could not use those classes anymore. I had to retake those classes. So that's one of the things you need to learn. Apart from anatomy and physiology, a lot of schools will also tell you that you're required to take like a developmental psychology class, like a human nutrition class, a chemistry class. Those core science classes generally need to be under 10 years old. Now, that said, 10 years is the most common limit that I have seen. I know there are some schools that have 7-year limits or 5-year limits, and there are also some schools that will tell you it's okay if your class is over the limit, just come in and talk to us and we will give you a waiver. So even if you have taken those classes 5, 6, 10 years ago and you're afraid it doesn't count anymore, if you are considering a school and is a strong contender, I would actually recommend going in and talking to admissions and figuring out if the waiver is going to work for you. Now, the other thing that I learned as well is that a lot of times with these prerequisites, they also have prerequisites. So what that means is, take for example, you need to take microbiology for the school you are going to. There are some schools that actually require microbiology. A lot of schools don't require microbiology, thankfully, but some schools require microbiology. And so you're going to take microbiology, and then you're ready to sign up for microbiology, and then you realize that, oh my god, I need to have taken core biology in order to take microbiology. That actually happened to me, where I was ready to sign up for microbiology class, and then I looked at it and I was like, oh crap, this requires core biology. Of course, remember I said I took anatomy and physiology 10 years ago? I simply just went back and I looked at my transcript from 10 years ago, and I realized I had taken core biology. Now, I did have to have, a conversation with the school about using my core biology from 10 years ago in order to get into microbiology. But thankfully for me, it worked out and it saved me an additional semester of coursework finishing up core biology. So just be aware of what prerequisites you need in order to get into the nursing prerequisites. And then as well, the other thing I will tell you is this: there are some schools that are very, very specific in the kind of prerequisites that they want. Again, based on personal experience, trust me, I looked at a lot of schools before I decided to go to the nursing school that I'm going to right now. And one of the things that actually happened was I was looking at UMass Amherst, which had, I think it's UMass. Is it UMass Amherst? I was looking at one of the UMass campuses. Let's just say one of the UMass campuses. I remember it was UMass, and I was telling them that I had taken developmental psychology at the community college I was at. And basically, developmental psychology, some people also know it as life cycle psychology. It basically covers, from birth to death. It covers the psychology of the whole lifespan. So I sent an email to UMass in my loving way that I do, to make sure that all my I's are dotted and my T's are crossed. I emailed them and I said, hey, I've taken developmental psychology at this school, and I'm thinking of transferring over to UMass for an ABSN, which is an Accelerated Bachelor of Science in Nursing program. Would it work? And they said no, and I was like, what do you mean no? And she was like, no, it's not gonna work. And I said, okay, so why? She's like, well, because according to the thing we know about the developmental psychology that you've taken, it doesn't cover as much as we want it to cover. It doesn't exactly match the syllabus that we have, so be very aware of that. In that situation, she actually gave me an offer where she was like, well, you can take this second class in order to meet up with the prerequisites, and we'll count those 2 classes as 1 prerequisite. Of course, at that point I said no, because I was like, in reality I don't think I want to do an ABSS, so I didn't really need to think about it, but that's something to consider. Now, a specific situation that I'm going through at the moment is that the nursing school I eventually decided to go to has specific prerequisites that you have to take for nursing that can only be taken at my school. So that's something else to be aware of, is that no matter how much you plan, sometimes, like if you are like me, I know not everybody is like me. Some people are just going to go to a community college, or you're going to go straight into a 4-year university. A lot of people do that, even, you know, in the 30s, 31, the age range that, you know, are like me. And you're just going to go ahead and go straight into the school and just take it all in there, so you don't need to worry about school specific prerequisites. But there are a lot of people who are going to do the same thing I did, which is basically go to a community college and then transfer to a nursing school. Schools have specific class. Alright, you're not going to believe it, but my camera died. So yeah, so what I was saying about the school having specific prerequisites, like in my situation, there are 3 classes that I have to take before I can register for the nursing classes at my school. So basically what that means is that I have 1 semester additional to what I originally calculated would take me to graduate, and I also had to adjust my my budget for school to reflect the fact that I was going to be in school for an additional semester, and I was going to be paying for an additional 3 classes. And it's very important to be aware of those kind of things when you're thinking about nursing prerequisites, because they could, you know, they could shift things a bit in a way that might make you uncomfortable. To be honest, I know that maybe thinking about all the things that I've just said, it might be like, oh whoa, maybe it's a bit complicated, or maybe it's not doable. It is very doable. One of the things that I'm learning with nursing school is that staying organized would allow you to make good decisions. And also research, go on Google, reach out to the schools. A lot of schools, despite what they tell you on their website, would have, you know, different information, and they would also be more lenient than maybe they put online. It is up to you to reach out to them and see how they can work with your situation and help you get into school and become a nurse. Anyway, I hope the information that I've given you is useful. I hope it helps you in the process of thinking of how to get to nursing school. I've been in the nursing school process now for a good year and a half. It doesn't normally take that long, let me just admit it now, not to scare anybody. I took some time off to do other things in my life. But yeah, so I've been doing it for a year, almost 2 years now, and I can tell you that the closer I get to becoming a nurse, the more I realize that this has been one of the best decisions of my life. So don't get scared off by all these things about prerequisites, or about money, or about, you know, getting into school. It, you know, it sounds daunting until you start doing it, then it, you know, it's so easy. So anyway, it's been good talking to you. As always, thank you for watching my video. Thank you for liking, because I know you're gonna like it because this has been informative, and also thank you for subscribing because your support means the world to me. Talk to you later.